Hey everyone, welcome to my Twitch replay review. Today we'll be going over a Twitch main in Silver 1 or 2, and it's this guy right here. I'm just going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to speed it up a bit to get to laning quicker. Before we get to anything really, I'm going to talk about the matchup. So Twitch Nami is pretty strong, but Misfortune Janna is also pretty strong. Misfortune has dominance over Twitch in lane, but Nami can, if it's a good Nami, she can outplay both of them pretty well. So I think in general the lane will be sort of even, and maybe 60% leaning toward the Twitch Nami side that we're going to be watching. The Twitch Nami actually cannot do the Krugs very quickly, and looks like they're not going to, which is the right decision. So yeah, right here he's getting a slow push on the lane. It's pretty good. I like what I'm seeing so far. Okay, so right here, let me go back a bit. So right here he's getting the push on the lane, and you 100% have the wave pushed. You have the wave advantage. At this stage, you really want to. Okay, so two things. One thing, you've purposely tried to get this wave advantage, but you're not using it. You're falling back. You're running away from their team here. I think you're playing way too passively here because you have this wave push on them. You have two minions on their you have two minions on their 0, but you're still staying really far. The second thing is you should be looking at where your support is positioning. Your support is positioning 100% correctly right now, and you're not following her, which is very wrong of you. She's trying to use the position of this wave to your advantage, but you're not using that at all. And I think you're focusing too much on the CS and you're playing too scared. So you want to be in the same sort of horizontal line here as your support at all times, as much as you can. So right here, she gets some harass down, and you definitely could have been here and helped her get some harass down. You want to really utilize this wave advantage. You had more minions, and Twitch level 1 is pretty strong actually. So again, like, you have more minions, but you're backing off further than her. I don't know why you're backing off so far here. I think you think she's way stronger than she actually is. But level 1, you can win and all in, because if you stack up your E similar to Callista, then you're gonna shit on them like instantly. So don't back off so far. I'd say try to play more aggressive, because even if it doesn't work out, it also helps you learn if it doesn't work out. But right now you're playing too passively for like growth and optimally, right? Now you're level 2, you go in. This is smart. Forces flash. Yeah, keep hitting her. Wait for the exhaust. Nice. Right there, you could have killed her. I think you misplayed. You missed a couple autos here. So right here, this is good. You kite it upwards. You cut her off. Keep hitting her. So right there, if you had autoed her first and then E'd, instead you didn't optimize it, so you in that delay, you just E'd. You could have killed her. Like, look at her health right now. She would have been low enough to die. And also right there, you could have maybe flashed into the wall, but not into the tower here, and then autoed her one more time, and she would have died before the Janus shield came up. But that's fine. You still, that should win you the lane from this point. So I think you should be playing more aggressive still. Like, again, look at where your support is. Look how far away your support is and what they're doing, and look where you are. You're too focused on the minions. If anything, you should be pushing the minions as hard as you can now, because you have lane advantage. It'll force them under tower, and they'll take harass from the minions and you for free and lose CS. Or, at the very least, you should be following your support and trying to help her get free damage on Janna where she is right now. But I think if you and now okay, so this was a chain of sad events. So right here, you're positioned a little too passively. You have your potion going, and right now you can still kill her. You have heal up, and she doesn't. She doesn't have flash either. You have both sums. You should be playing way more aggressively here. You should be positioning way more aggressively and pushing the wave. Instead, you fall back very far here. And then when Nami goes aggressive here, you try to make up for it, but it's not the right opportunity, so you overextend. So if we watch that slowly. So you're way far right here. Like, look how far you are from Nami, and look how much damage she's going to get onto Janna, and how much you've missed onto Janna. So she gets damage onto Janna. And now you're trying to go because you realize that you're too far away. But because of that, you overextend. And you've walked into her minion wave here. You've walked into the minion wave here, and now you're taking all this aggro. And even though you're winning this trade, because you still have heal, if you positioned better, you probably could have got free harass, or even if they overextended, killed them. So that was a good E mechanic where you autoed and then E'd her right afterward. And if you had done that the first time, you would have killed her, but I definitely mess that up sometimes as well. So what you should be doing here is just pushing the wave and backing. Push this entire wave now and back as fast as you can. Okay, this is a big mistake that I see very often in lower elo. You just killed their laner. You have a gold advantage, and you have an experience advantage. But what you fail to do is push this wave as fast as you can and efficiently recall. If you had pushed this wave into the tower, it's dying to the tower, MF is losing minions to the tower, you get a free recall, you're not missing any minions because you already got all these minions, and then by the time you get back to lane, you wouldn't have missed any minions pretty much. But now it seems like you're waiting too long. You're waiting for this too long. You can push this so much faster. Use your spells, right? You're not going to be killing anyone. You want to use your spells as well. And right here, you should... Okay, this is a huge mistake. You should not be going for her. You don't know where Kha'Zix is right now. I'm pretty sure he has not showed on the map. Maybe he has. Maybe he's showed on the map. But regardless, you should not be going for this dive. You have this huge wave. You have used your heal already, right? This is a very hard dive because Janna can just shield and NATO and just so many tools to... And she's flash too. Just so many tools to get out of this. What you should be doing is now this is the bigger the wave you have on their turret and they have no wave here, the more efficient your recall will be. And every second that you stay now is just wasting time. So I guess you realized pretty early. I think I just paused too early. But just in general, you want to push that quicker. And use all your spells. Like look at how much mana you had before you backed. You could have used your W, E, just to get the wave low. But I think in general that was pretty good. It was not that suboptimal. Let's speed this up for you to get back into lane. So this is pretty smart. That was a very good play. Let's just watch that again. So before you get to lane, you invis in. She should have seen you there, but I don't know where she's going. But anyway, that was a good play by you. You saw Jin coming down. Even if Janna was there, that would have been a free kill as well. So that was a good play by you. So now you have two options. You can either just go straight to drag or push and go straight to drag because your team, you've already killed MF. And your team doesn't need you at drag. So I would probably do what you're doing right now, which is to just take the wave. You want to be pushing the wave though. And if your team whenever needs help, they could have definitely done that. Whatever. If your team needs help, then you go. But I think they might have been a little too scared. Oh, I guess Nami got really low. So I think even if you went to and Nami got that low, you wouldn't have been able to take it. So you did the right decision there. And now you should be sort of trying to thin out the wave because you know it's 2v1, but trying to freeze it in this line. Because if you're 2v1 and the wave is at this line, then you can farm safely uh, without risk of dying unless you're getting dived. So now, yeah, you just have to wait for your support, but she's pretty fast. She has level 1 boots. She's pretty quick. Yeah. I like how you took the small one and then went back to lane because you realized that it wasn't worth it, that the lane would crash to you. That's okay. I see what you're trying to do there, but for sure it was the right decision, just not executed properly. So again, yeah, you want to be trying to shove this wave. I like how you're... I don't see this very often at all on Twitch players, or on lower elo players. I like how you're just autoing the wave, just like without care. You know? That's very good to see. I think it should definitely... Yeah, it's very good to see. And you're mechanically not that bad either. But I want to see what is revealed later that really shows that you're stuck here, or why you're stuck here. So you have no vision of Kha'Zix, you have very little vision of the river, but you have your trinket up, and so does your... No, your support doesn't, because you used it here. You have your trinket up here, so you should just be pushing this wave, warding your try, or the river, and then you can play more aggressively onto their bot lane, because you have such a huge lead right now. You should go ward something here after you push. So you can go on her right here. I think, again, you hesitate too much on Twitch. Especially if you have a lead in lane, you're gonna annihilate them. Like, I think you underestimate your power a lot. Like, every fight you take, pretty much, even with horrible positioning, will probably win you the fight. And I think, I would even say you can probably 3v2 if you play it well, because you have both summoners up. So I like this. I like your kiting. Nice. So that was perfectly mechanically executed. I'm actually curious to see what happens later on in this game. So right here, again, you should be pushing the wave and then just backing. There's very little chance you're going to kill her. You already used your ulti. Unless she plays really stupidly. Yeah, get this in back. That's very good, actually. I wonder how... Maybe it's your teamfight positioning later on that that doesn't look very good. So right now that you have such a lead, you want to be pushing the wave as often as you can, and then looking for roam or looking to gank. Right here, I think you're gonna ward dragon. You should not ward dragon. This ward is not that effective for you. It's pretty obvious if they're on dragon or not, based on how the map pans out. So you should just be warding this, or even this is much better than this ward, or even try even, because you want to use it for your lane. Putting it on dragon like this, I don't think it really benefits you at all in this situation. You're going to be pushing the wave the entire time, so you can easily check for dragon, and you have full lane dominance right now, so you should not be scared to ward deeper. But this is like a really shallow and useless ward. So you should just be pushing a wave. You shouldn't be freezing it here. So that's a big mistake. I think when people think they're ahead, they want to freeze the wave, and then yeah, they want to freeze the wave and extend their lead that way. That is not a way to extend their lead at all. That's very old-fashioned. That's what people would do in like season 1 or 2, because the other team would not know what to do at all. But if you freeze the wave, you risk your lane roaming to other lanes and then doing random stuff and making the game really messy. If you want to have control of this game, All you have to do is push the wave constantly to the turret, push the wave constantly to the turret, get wards all up in river, all up in their jungle here, and then look for assassinations in lane, look for ganks mid lane, everything like that. So I like how you're pushing now. It looked like you're freezing. I think I stopped too early pretty often. But yeah, so now every time the wave comes, you want to push it and then roam. And this is a really good play. So this is exactly what you would see higher elo people doing to take dragon. You also see Kha'Zix mid here too, which is perfect for a free dragon. So again, you want to get back to lane. Now that dragon's dead, your next objective is to get really deep wards up in this jungle. So continue to push this lane. I think you could have pathed more aggressively here. Yeah, I think you could have pathed more aggressively there, but that's fine. So now you see Kha'Zix top, you really want to just like play really aggressively because there's no one that can. There's no one here. No one can do anything to you. Victor's dead. Aurelia's on the map. These two are on the map. Kha'Zix is on the map, and you will win every fight. You still have both summoners. You have your ultimate up. There's no way you can lose the fight here. Play really aggressively. Yeah, keep pushing the wave. I agree with this. I think right there, instead of using your spells on the wave, I don't think you should have used your spells on the wave because they're very important for killing them here. And you might still get them though. No, there's no way. He's gonna ulti. Yeah, I think if you had your W up, you could have used it to help catch up to them. So I don't know who's pinging back, but I don't think you guys had to back off. Like again, I mentioned Kha'Zix is top here, Aurelia's here, Victor was dead, right? You really want to pay attention to the status of your enemies. You definitely could have killed her on that bubble, I think, or got her very low and forced her to use summoners because that was a really good bubble, and there's not many minions here for you to lose. So I think you could have followed your team there instead of backing off. Again, I think you're playing a little too scared in general. You're not pushing your lead as much as you can, even though you're mechanically strong. Like again, I think you're too far back. You can CS all these from this position, right? But you're back here, and now you have to be walking up to your support. Like I think if you were in that position earlier, you could have killed him. So let's just watch that really quickly. So right here, you ulti, you get out of it, it's done. That's fine. But yeah, I think you can go up. Like instead of pathing this way out of the ulti, you could have pathed this way out of the ulti and then played aggressively with Nami. So I think that was just a decisional error there. Just watch again. So she ultis you straight. You can go this way. I think you just chose the wrong way. If you came up this way, you'd have taken maybe one more damage, wave damage of hit. Sorry, one more wave of MF's ult in damage, and you could have actually forced a summoner here. Like that was a really good play by Nami for catching them, but you were just in the wrong position. And then right here again, you're playing too passively here. You're here. I guess you don't want the minion aggro. The minion aggro is fine. You have lifesteal. If you were here where you can CS all these minions still, you could have helped Nami get onto Caitlyn here as well. And then you might have been in position for this Janna kill afterward. She has no ulti, right? Which is fine. But I think in general you want to try to position way more aggressively. I think your mechanics are good enough to play aggressively or position aggressively, but you're just not doing it because I don't know. You think that you're not good enough maybe, or you're too scared. So this dive does not look like it will materialize. Oh, actually no, I thought there's only one person. So yeah, right here is the right call. You want to push the wave for them, but then they went preemptively, so you kind of want to try to help them. Push the wave, push the wave. Yeah, try to push the wave as fast as you can to get to the turret. This was the right decision too, I think. Trying to help your team there. So now you want to push the wave and back again, just like what you did before. Good. Use your spells. Maybe just expunge the cannon. That would be good. Yeah, I think you can push way quicker by using your spells. Maybe just try to practice doing that. You should not go for this tower, I think. This is not a good call. Tower's up. If you have a lane advantage, that tower will go down 100% in the next couple minutes. You don't have to force it down like this. Instead, it's way more efficient to just back, get your blade. I think you have enough. Yeah. It's way more efficient to back, get your blade, and just come back to lane, and then eventually they'll take it anyway, because you're so much stronger, you have better items, you have better everything. But you wasted a little time just doing damage to the tower there, where you could have got it afterward. Okay, now you're I think you're being a little greedy. You're trying to extend this this fight. And you have your ultimate, but yeah, but you don't have enough mana for E here. Okay, so that worked, but it shouldn't have. I think. Let me just make sure that it shouldn't have worked. So you're invisible here. So right here, if he just used that, make it rain and ran, that wouldn't have worked. But MF is not playing very well at all. So she basically died for free. If she just made it rain and ran and she flashed, I think you still should have backed for your blade. And because Kha'Zix chose to go mid here, but you saw him walking down here, and you don't have any ward vision all around here. That was a very risky play, and in hindsight, it shouldn't have worked. And it only worked because MF is really bad. So next time in that situation, in every situation where you get a kill or two, you want to really think about being patient, calming down, and not trying to overextend and force anything. Like after you guys did that dive, it was already good. You pushed them off the map. All you had to do is push that wave and back. But instead you tried to force two things. You tried to force this turret, and then you wasted time on your back, and then you tried to force this fight, which wasted time on your back. And even though you killed them, you shouldn't have in this situation. So again, now you killed her again. You should just want to push this wave and back. And try to use your spells to do so. I would just hit maybe everything a couple times, use expunge. But at least you're pushing the wave, even though it's not the most optimal. Yeah, you can get this tower. That's a good idea, actually. And then back. Because you've seen everyone mid, basically. Yeah, even this wave is fine. I like how you're maximizing the efficiency of your farm here. I think this wave is a good idea. I think you could have pushed this wave. I think you should have finished this wave 100%. Yeah, you should have definitely finished it. Because you saw Kha'Zix die. Again, I think it's more based on your global map awareness that's maybe holding you back from pushing your lead. Because Kha'Zix died, your team killed him. And then that happened, which is unfortunate. You could have got maybe 200 more gold with that back, but instead, yeah. So now that that tower's dead, what you should be doing here is pushing the wave out and then roaming. Or maybe looking for more assassinations on MF. So right here, it's a good idea. You have no heal though. You should ulti. You should ulti. I think if you ultied on Kha'Zix, it might have been ulti now. Okay, so I think again you're really underestimating your strength as Twitch. You could have turn this fight for sure. Right here especially. Let me see if you actually decide to. Yeah, right here especially, because Irelia switched and went the other way. You could kill these guys, like, very quickly. You have your blade active up. You just blade him, ult him, auto him twice. Dude, you don't even have to. If you blade him, W him, auto him once with your ulti, and E, he's dead. You even have a Nami power up, and Janna's not going to do anything to you. I think you're underestimating your strength right now. You're 4-0, you have Blade and Zeal, and I feel like you're just going to die here for free when you could have turned here. Even MF here is so low. Remember, Twitch has his Q reset. At this point, if you had started ulting, you would have turned the fight, I think. Because you still have flash. You get exhausted, that's fine. Right here, as soon as you flash and you've created that distance for yourself, you should start ulting. Right here, you should start ulting, right there. And kiting backward with your ulti. And you would have 100% killed him. Janna has no shield, she just used it on Aurelia. He would have died. You could, if you don't want to continue the fight, all you have to do is kill him and use your invisible again because you get that resetted. Especially right here, you could have turned. And Nami comes around to help you. So this is a big, big, big mistake. I think you're just too scared of... you underestimate your own damage a lot, and this is one of the scenarios where it could have turned amazingly for you because of their mistake of splitting here. And I think maybe you just die because you're too scared. Yeah, so that was very bad. Yeah, both of you die now when you could have turned that fight for sure because of your strength. That was a very big mistake. Instead of going... I think if you outplayed that, you could have gone maybe at least 1 for 0 because you can invis and run out. At least 1 for 0 for your side. But instead what happened is you both died and you lose map pressure, right? From the bot side. It's good that your team is countering with this. It's very smart. But again, that's just a big mistake. So I think now that you've seen a Akali go bot side, you should not go bot side. You should grab red and go mid or top. You don't want to stack with your with someone else. And Dragon's a good idea here, for sure. Good thing you're taking that. That's a smart decision. Yeah, like I don't think you're mechanically bad, but some decisions and your fear on Twitch is maybe a little too high. You have to be a little more ballsy. So right here you should grab red and then see where Akali goes, but likely you should go back bottom. I like what you're trying, but I think, yeah, just go back to your... No, I think you should have pathed down, went to this wave, let Nami go here to help your team, and then, yeah, continue. You should go to your wave. Okay, so this is another big mistake I see in Lorilo. You spend way too much time roaming around in this jungle for no reason. You don't want to lose farm. You're just losing farm. Like, you haven't done anything here. You have done nothing here in the last minute to 2 minutes now approaching. When you could have been pushing this wave and shoving it in here, but you're looking for like assassination opportunities. There's also no reason MF should be here. So I think you're just getting baited by this poor play by the other team because you think that roaming around and looking for picks here is going to work, but it shouldn't. The more optimal decision here should be you pushing bot lane, getting it to this turret, and then roaming around. Because after you've taken these minions, there's really nothing else for you to do in the lane, right? So like, if he dies here, it's just completely his fault. And even his team's mad at him, I guess. So yeah, you just walked into the Victor stun, I'm pretty sure. That's a very bad idea. Yeah, get back to bot lane. So in that time, in the 2 minutes or so, this wave has just been sitting here. And you've just been running around like this. And you got that one pick on MF, which shouldn't have happened. So just try to make sure before you roam, unless you really have to and your team is like, you know, doing stuff. Um, Make sure you should just push this wave out like now. Like even though your team's here, you should always try to make a decision to see if your team's okay without you. If they are, then you should be pushing. If they're not, then you should go. But that entire time we're roaming around here for 2 minutes really achieved nothing, right? And now you can get damage on this tower. This is good. So maybe you overstayed. I think yeah, that was obvious overextension. I don't know how you didn't see him earlier though. I think you have to pay a little more attention to your map because you had this ward in, and if you saw him as soon as he came here, there's no way he could get onto you if you're here, even if with that flash, right? I think you just misplayed that, um, or you weren't paying attention enough. That's fine. I'm gonna speed it up. To wait for your respawn. Yeah, you're going topside now. You should be pushing out mid because, and then choosing a side to do the same thing you were just doing. So let me just make sure I saw what happened there. So this is a horrible place to unravel. And you also didn't start with your ulti. Every time you come out of your invisibility in the mid game to kill someone, you should start with your ulti. You didn't. You just bladed and then use your ulti later, I think. Let me just jump back again. Just to check this out. So you go up this way. And then you open here. What you should be doing is just being a little patient, walking over here, at least here or here, and then opening. Because right now you're closer to their side, and their enemies can easily cut you off here. And you have all this vision too. You know where they are. You've seen them walk through here. So this is completely your fault too for opening here, right? This is just poor positioning. You want to wait, just be patient with your ambush. Walk over here. Open with your ulti, which you didn't do either. You waited. And then look, it put you in the worst position possible, right? So that was a big mistake too, in terms of positioning. I think we're gonna speed it up until you respawn again. So Dragon's coming up in 140. You guys should be focusing Baron side. Getting this is okay, but you should be pushing mid and going top side constantly. So in the closer to late game, it's closer to late game now because your team has so much of the map. As an AD carry, you want to be pushing out mid lane for map control so your team has map control, and then looking to roam and get vision. Right now you're really alone, so it's kind of dangerous. You can steal that red, yeah. This is good. Yeah, so right there you opened with your ult, and that's what you should have done on against Irelia as well. So I like how you waited, backed off with that. Oh, you missed so many autos. I think you're misclicking. That's fine though. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. Your team has nothing to gain here. This inhibitor's dead. You should go topside and push. I like to see that. Very good. Yeah, push this out. Yep, you get full topside control. You can back, and your team can go to Baron side because you already got the mid inhib too. Or you can take a free dragon because your team's bot side. So yeah, free dragon here. Yeah, open with your ulti again. Oh. I think you're positioning pretty well. E him. Use your Q. Yikes. Victor's really strong. Okay, that was a good try. I think you... Okay, right here, it's a mistake. I think you were underestimating your range on Twitch again. I wasn't watching upward, but this is definitely a mistake. With Twitch, you can hit the backline from so far away. So you open on him, but right here, you could be autoing her. You could be autoing Victor, or even MF, but Victor's obviously lower and more of a threat. Like, this entire time, you should be walking up here, and then attacking Victor. You could have killed him in one more auto if it crit. Or two more if it didn't. Or one more auto and expunge, which you don't have up right now. Oh no, you do have it up. So yeah, like, I think you're focusing way too much on the front line here. This is your, like, right here, he even got knocked up by the wave. He's so low, and the reason you guys lost this fight is because of Victor. But if you had just killed him right here, because you're paying more attention to their backline, because your Twitch, you have your ulti, and it just extends your range, like, insanely. Like, right here, you could have definitely 100% autoed him. But you didn't, and that's why you lost the fight, actually. You could have carried that fight for sure if you had killed Victor. And why you guys lose now is exactly because of Victor, so. Like right here. Even though this was a good try. That was a good try. But, I guess you got him, but. That was a good, try afterward. Like salvaging it, but if you played that fight better by attacking their backline with your ultimate, then they would have, like, you can basically 3-shot them. You're so strong right now, and Victor was so low, and you had so much time to put in auto into him, and you didn't. So that was a big mistake in that fight. Yeah, as Twitch especially, you can watch the backline and still attack them, right? You should just be hitting this. Okay. So, if you had hit this from the start, right? If you didn't waste time, like, being invisible. If you didn't waste time being invisible here, their team would have not been able to come before you killed the Baron. You see this? Their team is all over here, but you decided to wait on your Baron DPS. See, look, now they're just getting here, and it's 1.6k. You could have done like 3k damage to it, 100%. And then it would have just been Kha'Zix going into steal 1v5. And if he 1v4, and if he failed, then you kill him. But because you didn't hit the Baron, and I don't know what you're trying to do with your invisibility. What ended up happening is that they stole it, and their team is here, and then you guys get wiped. Post fight, as soon as you see Kha'Zix jump over, you should be kiting into the pit here. Kill Kha'Zix, kite into the pit. It might seem like your team is doing it wrong, is playing this wrong, but actually the rest of your team is playing this completely perfectly, and you're the only one that played it wrong. So because you walked here away from your team all jumps on Kha'Zix because he's the freeze kill, and if you erase him, you can try to go for this 4v4 after and salvage this game or salvage this fight, right? But instead, you sort of deterred from your team's idea and try to run out by yourself and try to save yourself, which really in the end saved no one because it made everything bad. So you died for free here, even though you guys get a free kill on Kha'Zix. If you had just come up here, helped them kill him, he would have died easier. And you try to make a stand at this choke, which is pretty good for Twitch, except for the fact that they have MF Victor. So you died for free, didn't do anything, and now your team gets wrecked without you. And for sure, 100% you would have been able to pick up some kills on the out, and maybe even one if your enemies played it badly. But because you walk this way instead of walking upward into the pit, killing Kha'Zix, and then trying to fight, make a stand here. So basically, a general rule is, in the pit, if the other jungler comes over to steal it, as soon as you see him come over, try to kill him. Just right-click him instead of Baron. And if he comes over and steals it, the same things... It's basically the same rule, like, throughout every situation. If the jungler comes over, you kill him instantly. Because their team will be lagging. Their team will be lagging here, usually. It's a good general rule. It's obviously not always the case, but like, look at this. If you had not come down, you definitely could have helped them, and this fight would have looked so much differently. You're so strong right now. But it's unfortunate. It's probably why you guys will lose this game, I think. It looks like you guys are losing now. So yeah, you should be clearing out this wave. Now that you're in the backseat, you should be just clearing the wave, waiting for the Baron to come out, clearing the wave, waiting for the Baron to come out. You can take this blue. Doesn't look like anyone on your team needs it. So yeah, this is what you should be doing, I guess. Just farming the jungle. Now I think you have your IE, which is good. No, not yet. Not even. Oh yeah, you do. I didn't see the other item. So yeah, get your red, just keep defending. There's nothing you could do now. You threw the lead. You guys threw the lead together. But I think you could have carried those fights if you had played them better. Maybe there's one more team fight before this game ends. It looks like there's not much time left. I hope you guys fight before you surrender. Okay, right here. So that's good. You expect the fight to come, you and Viz. Oh, you're gonna get bleeded. So no, okay, so you're running way too far. You're running way too far again. So this is kind of unfortunate. This is Jin Zhao goes in, and then you're obviously running away and you're not paying attention enough. But then you turn around and you don't see her either, which is very bad. Like, look at your position here. Even though you've engaged, they're pressing around you. They're going on you. It looks like they're engaging on you, even though you're the one engaging, which is very funny. It's probably why this fight goes sour. So you just open on their backline and tunnel, and you don't see these people here. You should have at least seen her. And if you've seen her, then you shouldn't have like gone forward. She's gonna stun you and you're gonna insta die. But even afterward, here, you flash away. Look at them. They're all CC'd. You should turn and fight. You can lifesteal back, and you would have definitely killed. Is this Aurelia? Yeah, you would have definitely killed Aurelia. Look at the entire time that they're CC'd. You're just running away and not doing damage for free. It's almost like you've given up on the fight before you've even fought, and you've done that maybe 2 or 3 times this game already. And it looks like it might be the end of the game because of that. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna end shortly. It's kind of sad because you guys had such a huge lead, right? That's a very big throw. I think most of your problem is with team fighting, but you are okay in lane, and your mechanics in general are pretty strong. But I think your tunnel vision in general is bad, and your team fighting is bad. So, just to wrap up this review, there are. I'll try to generalize into like three things. You are playing way too passively on Twitch, especially when you have a lead. You're so strong when you get your first item, even before that, if you have a big lead, and you shy away from opportunities because I think you're too scared. And this mentality carries over to your team fighting. So in team fights, you're too scared to you're too scared to deal damage sometimes. And you a lot of the time before you've even fought them, you decide the fight's over, so you just try to run. You just try to run. Like that one time at bot lane here, you just ran because you thought it was over. But when you could have turned that and not gotten double killed. um, for team fighting, other than being too scared sometimes, you're tunnel visioning, so you're not seeing all parts of the team fight, right? You're not seeing that their backline is in range of your ulti and really low. You're not seeing that their front line is CC'd, so you can walk past them and get free damage and kill their backline. And you're not seeing that their front line is right behind you because you're tunneled on their front line. I think you have to take a step back from your screen and try to see before you fight, try to think of where all five of their members are and then fight. And then you can make a good decision. And also try to stay in your invisibility while the fight is being engaged and then pop out after it's everyone's committed. So that last fight you popped out late, I mean too early, before all the entire both teams engaged. You popped out when your team was still trying to engage, and then you got collapsed on afterward. So those are probably the three big things. But you're mechanically really good, and your laning is pretty good in general, except that you can push your lead and play more aggressively. And your team fighting is just your team fighting is like a huge problem, I think. And also, don't run around aimlessly in the mid game. But I think that's it for this review. So thanks for watching, guys. And you can leave a comment, like, or sub if you enjoyed for future replay reviews. I might do one more for Twitch or two more for Twitch. So look out for that.